that extra firepower. It's very important on Mirage to bring out the AWP, especially when you know the T's will do it as well. You can't really go toe-to-toe with JR unless he hits a straight-up headshot, which is unlikely in some of the duels you have in Mirage. But Chris J won't be the one on the scout. Will be Oscar, of course. Key round coming in. I'd assume something a little bit more aggressive from Mouse Sports. Get in their faces. Throw a spanner in the works. We'll see. He fast play towards middle, and Sunny goes down. He tries and challenge with the M4. He actually dinks Hutchie down to 1 HP. To find that kill. And the 5-on-4 ensues.
Oscar will cover off the apartments. He's got to rotate off of B. In fact, they're going to leave a lot of information available to them. Stico rotates back in with the scout, so again, as you say, bonus. 1 HP for Hutchie. JR can hit the shot on Oscar. It would have been a straight B hit. He's still trying to find an angle that works, because they don't have any B side. Plus, they'd already rotated on that. Again, there is a smoke you can throw from the B courtyard if you don't have one in middle. That would aid that. And I think if they could have gotten up catwalk sooner, they might have had that round. But just couldn't get map control working in mid.
Remember, that's a round where Mouse Sports have got MP9s, FAMAS's scouts, and they come out on top. That says a lot about how this game's going to go down. Of course, will be the full eco from Vegas Squadron here. No AWP recovered by Mouse Sports, so they'll just be on 5 rivals, and that's absolutely fine. They're building a huge bankroll here, and they should be guaranteed this one. Chopper goes for the head armor. Takes himself down to $1,000, but they'll have maximum loss bonus next round, meaning he'll have 4,400 in total. Going to the next one, even more if bomb gets planted. Always likely. There are upgraded pistols available. Sunny aggressive, of course, as he looks towards the underpass here. It's just going to be crossfires, and you can see a straight line formation from the CTs in the top left, just holding all the key areas of the map and making sure no one could advance in towards a bomb site.
JR burned a little bit, but falls back to the keyhole. Stico. Try and time this to perfection and take down Chopper. Shander to start it off, though. Chopper still working out. Will he be found with teammates? Because they're going to go down ahead of 34. Got the kill on Stico, actually, so it gives him an M4 to work with, but 1 versus 4. Good luck.
Well, that's good news for him. He's the player that really this round. He gets an extra $300 back as something there. But Chris J will find the final kill. 5-0 for Mouse Sports, and I'm sure Sticker will buy the AWP at this point. He's got 10k, probably get dropped the AK by Oscar, and then the AWP comes out. That would make a lot of sense to me, at least. It's about time to run the big guns. They're not. They're staying on 5 rivals here. Keeping the deadly weapon in the cabinet for now, it seems. JR be one of the more interesting AWPers of the tournament. 0-5 right now, which is an aggressive push towards middle. Doesn't know that'll be happening. We have got some jump out of the window. Will be Chris J, I'd imagine, actually going all the way towards top of middle by the smoke, looking to open things up here. Remember, JR is watching that angle like a hawk.
Chris J is aggressive. The confidence is certainly there. Vega's not really establishing much. They haven't gone for A at all yet, by the way.
Well, they know Mouse Sports like to do this from time to time, so they're waiting to see if it will come through. Sunny gets down.
Watch for Sunny, because Chris is pushed up. He'll make contact first, but Sunny might push through A as well if this doesn't go well. Chris gets the shoulder shot to JR. So they all pushed off the angle, and Oscar could surprise them entirely because there's Chris and Oscar. That's one time. Well stopped. Players, what a reaction to turn around and flank. Pushing out from underpass as well. It's Sunny, but again, they're winning late duels.
Good work by Stico not to die there. He could have won that duel, being 50-50, but keep the 4-on-2 advantage. Give one frag away, all of a sudden looks very possible for Vega. Run the timer down.
Chris's position's so good as well, because they're going to go back over for the bomb. Chris knows he can hear them. Good
Perfect.
Shots. Yeah, Mouse is looking well and truly ahead of their opponent right now, the class of the teams, because 5-0 is about to turn into 6. And they haven't had any problem at all.
Well, that bomb is down, and Hutchie He is out of this round, I'm afraid. Very good stuff from mousesports. This is what I want to do. They want to show the lack of respect. Don't allow Vegas Squadron to get too confident here. They're going to be good on their CD side. We know what they're capable of in terms of their aggression. T side, they're going to be relying on set pieces and the defaults, and so far they haven't been able to do either. And Hudgy, sticker here, probably finds this kill. I'd have waited a bit longer before you challenged him just to try and guarantee that he gets no money for the next round, but you can see mousesports still want that to be a possibility. Coming in, can't find him. That's quite an expensive round, all things considered, for mousesports, but that's fine. Here's Oscar doing fantastic work with the AK-47. Bear in mind, he is the AWP of the team. He's very proficient with the rifles as well. That's world class right there. Excellent work. Should be the tactical timeout, I would imagine, from Vega. Still on maximum loss bonus, no bomb going down, and Hudgy not getting any cash makes things a little bit more difficult. Obviously, he already has the AK and armor, so they're deciding to do. Kashanda with just shy of $5,000. He'll be able to buy. But GR still yet to strike 0 and 6.
7 rounds in, 9 kills total for Vegas. Certainly means the money's building on mousesports as well.
Oh, yes. Up there, I would say, in the top 5 at this point in AWPers in CSGO, and he is very deadly on Mirage. Watch out for him.
Push to mid. Immediately deeper smoke that time. Wall on the catwalk. And leaves Oscar just enough. Little late smoke in the window. I think he's got a gap there. Might be able to play with that. Let's go back out. I don't think he'll be able to quite see enough toward connector, so Shander's going to get inside of it.
The kill, though, he does get information that's made their way up to that area, and Hudgy now controls CPL. Bear in mind, 2 players in the B bomb side. Sticko, of course, actually pushing up in the apartment, so he's got a great position here, and it will be Chris J to look towards short from the forest positions. This is a really nice setup now for mousesports. Look at it, everything's covered. No problems at all here. Just connector could be a bit of an issue with Kashanda in there.
JR sneaking up toward the kitchen as well. Has to be careful. Steeko's pushed up once more. So Hutchie toward the window. Remember, Oscar knows that they had CPL. Get it off. In fact, he's going to put it off. Hutchie into place. 31 seconds. JR's just getting to connector now. And Sonny's still in the sight. Sonny with no pressure from the front side of the A. Take in terms of Palace and A main means that he can play reverse fire. He can just sit in the corner, wait to swing around, watch the information. Tries to spray through to get the planter. Can't quite do so. Good trade, Shander, or at least to one up the position. Mears found Sonny, who peaked a little bit early as well. So that position in the sight's been compromised. Good shot, Chris, though. Shander goes down, but Oscar and Chris have to retake with 2 AWPs. Stiko, the only one with a rifle.
Yeah, he's coming from the A ramp right now. JR Hutchie holds toward jungle, watching that vent closely. Bomb ticking away now, and you're absolutely right. The double orbs does make things very difficult, especially the fact they have no smoke here. It's going to be Oscar that has touched the bomb and hoping to nail a shot. That is very good. He's going for the full defuse here, but Mur will take care of that. Hits another wonderful shot, going for the 3K. He nails it. Mur steps up and finds Vegas Squadron their first round on the board. Great work. That was actually quite a desperate round for them. Losing the first pick, that difficult buy, and they managed to pull it off.
They got lucky. That round reset before the bomb went off as well, because I think Mir would have gone down and therefore lost. AK as well. They keep 2 players up in what will now be a potential reset. Good position from Mir. Oscar went for it. Give him credit. He had 1 shot. Decided I'll hold it. But there at the angle. Covered off. 6-1. It's definitely recoverable. Got a long way to go before they wear down the economy of mousesports. I say that, though, and the lot purchases has actually been expensive for them, so they are actually lower than I would have thought.
That 1 round, they pushed aggressively to find that remaining player. They lost 4 kills total. That cost them a lot. And then double off straight after that. They won't be high rolling for much longer. Sonny, burning alive there, goes down to 45 HP. He will fall back. HG's in on his position as well. Remember, there's a massive risk of a full reset here for Vega with the Galils out and the AWP.
Miscommunication, 2 players smoked windows, so they're 1 smoke down.
Yeah, that does happen more often than you think.
You kind of see it there on the map. There's actually 2 circles at window, overlaid on top of each other. So JR and Kashander to head toward kitchen. Stiko's been so aggressive in this position. Pushed up with the MP9 on round 2. Pushed up pretty much every other round. The
Uh-oh,
rifle, oh, timing. They know he's there. They just smoke out. Kashander nails him.
Yep. Keep your guns out there. It's going to be a difficult pill to swallow, but Oscar, that's a really nice shot. Kashander actually really crisp moving there. Bunny hopping out of the window, tried to capitalize on the fact that Sticker was so pushed up, he assumed that someone would be towards short. He could catch him rotating, but it was Oscar nailing a textbook shot of his as they rotate back towards A. 30 seconds remaining. This will be their final commitment. One player at the connector, that's going to be Mir, and the rest of them at the A ramp.
They get caught out as well by Oscar, who's gotten back towards short, so we can see it to the connector. Good play. Sunny doubles up, Chopper and Hoochie down. It's just Mir remaining. And reset is definitely on the cards, or is it? He's got one to work with. Still, though, he's got Oscar behind him.
Yeah, that's a devastating reset with no bomb going down. 7-1. Mouse Sports bounce back. And it will leave Vegas Squadron about $2,500 per player. As you can see, Sunny here with low HP as well, stepping up tremendously. I have no idea how they didn't find him on the second frame. Didn't catch this one. Okay, it was Hutchie jumping across the sandwich area, and obviously mid-air. No accuracy there. He'll be taken down. And it looks like Vegas Squadron will be taking Nico. Give himself about 2K. We always say they get $1,900 next round. Even a bomb this time, they'll have enough for at least AK and armor. It's not ideal, but it'll be something. As Sunny, these are his kind of rounds. He sits in the window with the AK-47, actively hunting, trying to suss out anyone he can, but it will be a B-side play from Vega here. No smokes to speak of. It's a flashbang.
Does. Down to 60. Kashander pushed back. JR tagged as well as Chris continues to hold corner at Cat. Stico with a nade is actually going to take down JR the rest of the way. Catches out Chopper. He's been dominating over toward B. They haven't had any access at all. 8-1. They've had one bomb plant, and that was the round they ended up winning.
And now they're going to be investing into this one with just AK armor, maybe like one smoke each, if that. Mir, I think, can only get a pistol. So this is tough times for Vegas Squadron. Mouse Sports looking clinical once again. They've had some great performances so far. The Astralis one comes to mind, obviously, the huge winner for them. UMP for Mir, and the rest of them, like I said, Hutchie, AK armor, no grenades. Kashander, same story. SMG for Mir. This is a horrible round for them. I'd say a set piece has to come through. They can't rely on a default here. They have to go for grenades off the bat.
Yeah, but set piece with one smoke left.
True.
You're right, but it's just going to be so difficult. The duels completely flash out. It was well timed, though. That gives Hoochie a shot. Robs goes down. Sunny, though, not smoked off, can go back in the site. And Chris actually hits 2 quicker than we can respond to it. And catch the camera angle because he catches them going on toward the balcony, and Sunny just has to back off. Hoochie tries to wrap around. Still, though, it's a 2 versus 3. Vega's in it with a shout. Mir is on lone on B, and if JR thinks he's going to get there untouched or undetected, Sunny's got other plans.
Yep, Sunny's coming. He can hear you, and he'll allow him to live. I respect that. Sunny, well, just let him go towards the B-bomb site. He gets a call, and he's definitely heard him, so you can see him going behind, and they're rotating just in the top left. The CTs coordinating themselves towards the B-bomb site. It's up to Mir in the kitchen with the UMP to try and find a rotation kill here.
So bomb plant comes in as a result of letting them rotate, but they're going to be hot on their heels. You mentioned it. We've also got Sunny sneaking up toward the apartments. Catwalk covered by Oscar. He's going to wait. Give Sticko some more time to get in position. As he peeks, that's when Sunny goes. Good play off of each other. And it's Mir alone. He snuck back in through checker. Sticko needs to recognize this immediately, and already I think he has, because he's turned around from the doorway. They're going to go for the 10-second defuse, and they'll certainly get it with Oscar mopping through the window.
Very good stuff there from Mouse Sports. I like that from Sunny as well. Gets the information for his team. You see them use that information. He doesn't overcommit. Bomb goes down, sure, but they managed to keep 3 players alive. Chris J, this is too easy for him. This is the lack of utility really shining there. You can see exactly from his POV, no smokes, no flashes towards him. You're never going to win those rounds. Sure, you might have the greatest aims. You might be able to hit those first shots like he did on Robs, but an AWP at that sort of range is always going to come out on top, and that's pretty easy work there for Chris. He wins the round without breaking the sweat. So the bomb gets planted, Matt, and we'll be on 3rd save loss bonus. So that's going to be $2,400 per player on Vegas Squadron, plus an extra $800 in the back pocket from the bomb going down. But still, that is not enough to buy. They're hovering around $3,400 per player. And it looks like they'll take another eco here. I see Deagles coming out. This game does not feel like it's going to go well for them. They were the upset shock team of the Challenger section. But overall, since we've got into the round of 16, where things get very real indeed, haven't looked like the same dangerous team. We'll see whether they can bounce back from this. It's looking very likely to be 10-1. Very quick game so far. I'll have a look at the scoreboards while we have this round play in the background. JR still 1-10. At the top is Mir, 7-9. 13-5 for Chris J. Rop's down at 3, but it doesn't really matter. This scoreline, you can't really look at the winning team under the microscope when they're winning to this sort of degree.
Stiko ready again. We're going to put massive amounts of pressure on. He's already hit one. Good damage on the second. Kashander just flashed off again just to somehow find room to live. Oscar nearly bails him out as well, getting low behind me. He'll go down, but it's not really important because it's just Touchy remaining.
Yeah, and he's 4 HP with an Eagle. Desperately trying to get into the window there. Come on, Hudgy, let's get it over with, shall we?
Henry's got plans.
Oh, he's got an AK.
Big lunch plans.
I'll give him that. So at least he saves the AK. That's something. The problem is he'll get no money, but he has got 2,800 residual cash. So if he saves that, that's armor, nades, everything he needs. Actually does help him out. He'll probably still go down as he heads towards short. 50 seconds remaining. There's a score, but I just mentioned you can see all the stats for yourself there. I won't read them out. And down he goes. Oscar with the CZ. The remnants of Hutchie there. The corpse on the floor. And round of 12 comes in. Finally some cash coming in their favour once again. Pretty simple stuff. Nothing too flashy from Stiko. A little bit awkward for him overall, but got the frags. And we'll go into round number 12.
Up for Oscar. Still. He has to invest $600 and he's fully loaded.
I think this is the right play. They're just going to start going for set pieces now.
Glass cannon for JR as well.
Yeah.
I'm surprised they haven't done more set pieces on A. They haven't done anything to get map control. Look at the confidence. Oscar's already top mid.
Yeah, he's having a party right now. He's just going to be pushing around the map. AWP out.
Chris is behind him as well, so even if the op doesn't suffice, M4 is there.
They've got no one in this position whatsoever. Do you know how much information they're gathering right now? This is nuts. This should not be happening.
Chris is going to go one way. The op will go the other. This is huge. Problem is the op's actually running through CT right now.
How much
so
intel
Oscar's going to get behind them. He needs to slow down. He's done so now. This is everywhere. They're behind them on both sides of the map. Chris gets a free kill now. Bang, dead, and that's just one. Meanwhile, we snap it back over. Rops and Sonny inside of the site. They'll get the ball played. That's fine because Chris is already there. JR goes down, and they're going to realize, oh my God.
Yeah,
How ridiculous is this? Mouse Sports is just walking all over the map wherever they want. Chris back in toward the site. Oscar as well, excuse me. And he's easily got kills, AWP, and defuse in.
The ref had to call this game. They're not fighting back. This is awful. Vega Squadron, so many holes in the defense there. And they're on the T side. It looks like the Mouse Sports side are on the offense. It's absolutely unbelievable. Mouse Sports pushing middle. One player in B apartments, one in T spawn. This is an absolute battering right now. Vega Squadron have no response. They're being made to look very amateur as Mouse Sports dissect them every single round. Bomb gets planted as we get back to the maximum loss bonus, I believe. Yes, indeed, we do. 11-1 overall for those listening on the radio. Mouse Sports CT side on Mirage is looking incredibly sharp right now. First game of the day. Early mornings, but no excuse to present this level of play. Mouse Sports need to just keep to the same game plan they're showing right now. Keep mixing up. We'll mix to the lines down as Oscar and Chris J double team them in the connector there.
Chris spotted.
Surely not. Oh my God.
Fair enough.
It's done, Matt. It's over.
Wait. Similar to the one tap we saw with the USP and the pistol. Chris over top the boxes. He's shot off.
Here we go.
Chopper does put him down. That's going to bring us back to at least only a one-man deficit. Very rarely, I say, they have the advantage on Vega's side.
Well, this is at least winnable. That's something. Chopper had to go above and beyond with that AK-47. Chris J doesn't seem to care, though. Here he comes.
Very slow reactions.
They challenge everything they are. They're getting a bit too confident there in those tight situations. That was a huge lead, and then everyone facing and challenging. They're having a very fun time. But Chris J, especially facing the sandwich, that didn't really have to happen at all. But there we go, 11-2. Nothing too disastrous. Great work from Chopper to get those opening frags, and JR getting the confidence there, closing it out. His fourth frag of the game finds them their second round on the board. Smokes come through. Chris J, very good at that jump. Will be looking for anyone crossing, but he might want to fall back at this stage. Oscar will go down.
Not. Flash up, and Chris goes right back in. Confidence is key.
Yeah. He's having a lot of fun right here.
Oh, wow.
He's not done.
Deep smoke on Cat. He's going to try and push it. How often do you see that? There's three players there, Chris. Put up the defense enough look at the push now from Stico. He's going to go through apartments, everyone, everywhere.
Yeah, this is a massive problem for Vega. They're losing control at almost every point on the map. Bomb still down at the top and middle. Lose this, remember, they have pistols for round number 15. It'll very likely be a 13-2 game. 3 versus 2. Sunny's push Palace. Sticker in the B apartments. Chopper cowering in T-Spawn now with the AWP.
We'll pick up the bomb at least. Now work together toward B. Stico can rotate. Sunny's already pushed through A. So Stico has mid. The only place they don't have is underpass. Sunny's already confirmed they're not at A. So Stico can start to cheat. In fact, he's going to. He's going to work directly behind them. So take that back. I thought he was in window. Underpass is cleared. So this has to be B. Stico's there. Sunny's just hoping that they haven't wrapped back to mid, so he'll stay here for now. Rops was just patiently waiting because all the information pointed to him. All signs led to his gun, and it's now, as you say, 12-2 with pistols for Vega.
This just says it all. The fact that Chris J is just rushing around middle by himself through smokes and is challenging time and time again. They have no response for it. It feels like the game's already done, and Rob's very simple procedure for him. Takes them both down. There was 10 seconds remaining. If they traded there, they wouldn't win the round. And it's round number 15. It's looking likely to be 13-2. As I said, they've got absolutely no money at all. Pistols and a MAC-10. That is not great news. That's a horrible buy in anyone's book. Even for a partial buy, it's not great. You'd expect to at least have some grenades in a partial buy. Don't even have the Deagles here. They had to opt for P250s and CZs. Obviously the cheaper of the upgraded pistols. Hachi takes a nade to the face, down to 10 HP he goes. And that's one of the easiest frags to go up against.
He's had a few easy ones on B today, if I'm honest. Rops, Sunny, they'll follow it up. And 13-2 looks likely.
This is not the same team, is it?
No, as I said from the very beginning, the timings are off. They weren't taking any map control. That was something Vega were at least decent at. We're using, taking advantage of utility to get position, to put people into duels that were winnable. They didn't have any of that. They left. How many times did mid get occupied by CTs?
It's an unbelievable amount of times. Like they were pushing B apartments, Palace, middle, and not finding anyone. They had them in T spawn almost every single round. Like, they just needed to focus right there and then. Gun rounds, we're not winning these defaults, getting pushed everywhere. Set pieces off the bat, let's go for B executions, A executions, A splits. Let's have strategies at the very start of each round, because these defaults are getting absolutely wrecked. We have no control of the map whatsoever. We need to just take a timeout, halfway through and realize, right, they're obviously on point, we're not. We need to focus more, getting our star players into positions where risks are eradicated. We can get the bomb down and actually win some clutches. But
of course, the magic. Well, of course, the magic wears off as soon as I predict them, right, Hank? That's what it was.
Yeah, you joined the Moses train with the Sharks.
Wow, when you put it that way, it sounds awful. I joined the Vega train. Moses just happens to be on it.
He's the conductor.
Is he really?
Yeah, he's.
That's why I didn't recognize him. He had a hat covering up the hair, the lack of.
He's head of social media, so he does all the shark gifts for them.
Oh right.
That shark though is dead in the water, I would say. You like that?
Sure. Yeah, I mean,
is good.
That
is top draw.
Pretty average, really. I mean, he lives in the water and he died. What else was there something clever I missed there?
I'm just saying, I'm here all week.
We have one more day after today, Henry.
Well, still stands. I'm here all week. Either way, it will be the maximum 2 minutes, I think, for Vega. They'll try and win this the best they can. It's not over till it's over. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. They can win the pistol here and grind this one out. That is not the face of a man who looks like he's believing just yet.
Yeah, I don't really blame him. Maybe we just need to get some blood in the water to make the Sharks hungry.
Yeah. He needs to kill some people first to shed some blood.
Sure.
That has to happen. But, yeah, like I said, they'll take the full 2 minutes here. You are entitled to it at halftime. And we'll just work out what kind of player. I can probably look at the buys while we're here.
Every single person on Mouse Sports has more or at least equal to the greatest fragger on Vega. So Rops is the lowest on Mouse Sports. He has 8. The top on Vega has 8.
That's pretty unbelievable. Oscar and Chris J have both got 18.
It's true.
Completely wrecked him. We'll have a look at the buys. We can do that while we wait. 4 sets of armor for the CT side. That's Vega now, as they switch over. Chopper with the defuse kit and the smoke. And we'll have a look at the T side. P250 for Rops. He normally gets dropped the P250. He actually opts for a smoke and a flashbang this time. No armor for him, and his teammates will have Glocks. Probably smoking one particular area, flashing them in. A round makes a lot of sense. You can smoke either CT spawn, or I guess that makes the most sense. Smoking CT spawn, flashing over, and they go out of Palace or something like that. That would be my guess. But they are facing towards B, so they might just smoke off and run towards middle, it seems. Smoking towards the window area. JR won't going to do much about that. Let's go fast in that connector.
So quick. The air shut him down already. He's tagged back. Chris J again on the pistols. Looking quite sharp. Glock. But JR's got the shot back. Drops. Ooh. Whack-a-mole. Sees the head pop up of Kashander, but he'll fall off of it. Instead, it's over toward B. Hoochie shuts down Sunny. It's Oscar that has to recover. He's got to do so alone. A 1 versus 2, essentially, from his position until such time that Rops can get there. Bomb down in the site. Rops now versus 3, and Vega might have the second pistol in their hands.
I think you might be absolutely right there. Rops with the PT-50, remember no armor, so he's going to be very squishy indeed. Bomb is down, and Vega Squadron have done it. Their campaign begins right here, right now. All will be forgiven if they can get the 3-0, win the first gun round, and start applying the pressure. Rops will come out, and obviously what he can here with the PT-50. Have one-tap potential, just like the USP, but they're still fired up. That's going to find them some success here. 13-3 now. You would assume mousesports forced by in the second, no bomb going down. The Deagles will come out. Could go for the very passive approach and take a full eco, maybe get Galil's next round. Surprise them. I think they've taken a timeout to decide what the play is here. How can we maximize our chances of winning the game early and not feel that pressure? We've had a lot of dreams smashed before in the major. Huge score lines falling apart. Blink and you'll miss it. It can happen. So it's good the coach comes in right now at NBT just to discuss the ideas. They have gone for the force buy. I can confirm Deagle's armor. Everyone's all in, even Oscar the AWPer. So they're going to try and win this one out. Certainly a viable strategy on Mirage. It's a very Deagle-centric map. We'll see where they can step up here.
That would be one way to put the nail in the coffin.
Yeah.
Congrats on winning a pistol. Get wrecked.
We'll take that back.
Oh, Sonny. Look out toward A-main, smoke down in his face. Meanwhile, Oscar putting a little bit of pressure toward B. Hoochie, the one that sits on the platform with Mir nearby. Gap for Sonny, but he won't be able to spot toward Sandwich. He's not wrong in assuming that one might be there. Chopper is.
Just trying to bait out anything they can now. It's a pretty hard default with Oscar focusing towards the underpass right now, seeing if anyone gets themselves up at that window. Sunny challenging at A round, just hoping to bait out the grenades. There's an incendiary, expensive grenade to throw. As they start coordinating themselves towards the A bombs, you can see Rops in Palace, Sunny at A ramp, players towards the connector. And this is a time to strike. MP9s and UMPs on the A bomb site. Rob's waiting for a mistake to be made. If anyone wants to get information towards the Palace, they can sneak up the ladder and have a little look. Oscar, though, how has he managed to get this deep on the site? Can't nail the shot, but Chris J does. Robs comes in with a headshot of his own. This is looking like a very problematic round now. Oscar patrols the vent. Flashbang will come through. That's not going to do anything, though. It's a counter kill for Oscar. Oh, not as clean as I would like, but they all count. And it looks like a round for Chris J and Co. Oh, the scout is just brutal in this position.
That USP, I thought maybe it was going to get more than that, but you're right, taking down. Bomb was planted anyway. 14-13, it is stolen back. That's about as bad as it gets. I think I heard some colorful Russian beside me.
Oh, yeah?
Just a bit.
Oh.
It's about the only word I know.
Not a great time for them right now. 14-3, and they have to be on pistols, and they're looking down the barrel of match points. So it'll be CZ's Desert Eagles as mousesports just run a default with their pistols and take them down one by one. Once again, Vega crumble. After winning the pistol convincingly, we thought there was a chance. Now they'll take a pause once again, of course. If you're just joining us, this is the 1-1 game. No one will go home if they lose this one. We have got some of those games coming up. Some of the teams looking to make the legend status, and a couple of them trying to avoid going home today. So it's a big day.
Yeah, it was a large day. Hard to believe. 2 weeks, or not even 2 weeks ago, a week ago, we had 24 teams. We're going to get down to 2 of our final 8 today, and unfortunately 2 to go home. Question is, who's going home? It won't be either of these 2. They'll play tomorrow no matter what. But who's going to have the upper hand and going 2-1? I would say Mouse Sports, Hank.
I think you might be right.
I thought it was going to be Vega. I'm not going to lie. My prediction's wrong. You know what? 7 for 8 is going to be okay, though. I'll still be all right today. Thought I was going to get the 8 for 8 today. Apparently not. Scout shot, Uchi tag, 29, and seemingly hadn't had enough. Sadistic goes back for more.
Apparently so. He wants to be punished. 5 on 4. And at this point, they'll just wait for the reactions. Nothing has to be done. Mouse will play this very methodically. Getting match point this early on, it's a huge milestone, obviously. But loses sort of round the tilt can set in as Oscar hits yet another scout shot there. Takes GR down to 29 HP. Could actually fill him up. What an alley-oop that would be. Oh my god, that's so well played by Oscar. The awareness of this guy is unreal. B-bomb side's open, I'm afraid, and that should be the round. 5 versus 3 as Oscar picked them apart 1 by 1.
Yep, pretty straightforward. Mir and Kashander trying to do what they can at A-main. Good luck. Bomb's going to go B any second. Taking their time about it. Don't want to get caught off guard. Teams might rush at this point with a 14-3 lead and just think, yep, well, let's just win it.
Well, that's how mistakes are made.
Exactly. I can tell you lots of ways mistakes are made, Henry. I've made a few. I'll write a book someday. Yeah,
I've already got the title of mine. It's called Confessions of a Caster by Henry G. Oh. Richard Lewis is the ghostwriter. He's got most of the stories in his head already, so that helps.
I was going to call mine Herpes and Hemorrhoids, a story of a sadist.
Bloody hell. It will be 14-3 very shortly to be 15 as we move swiftly on. And we go into Chopper, Mir and Kashander desperately trying to hold on to their Desert Eagles and CZs. Rob's looking towards T-spawn, and this is not looking good, let me tell you, for Vega Squadron. There's almost no chance of them winning this game at this stage, and I was excited for this one, I have to say. For Vega, they've been a fun team to watch this tournament. They've had top teams on the ropes, have taken some of them as well. Remember, they beat FaZe earlier on in the tournament. It was a bit of an anomaly. I think FaZe played themselves going into that game, being so worried about the PCW results. There it is, match point. What a quick game this has been. All 5 players surviving Mouse Sports.
And they need to stay on A, obviously. They can't go for the retake because they want the armor. They might as well get something going for them in the next round. I don't know why Hochi double jumps there. Perhaps he's given up as well.
There he is. The main man, the AWP player and scout player, it seems, of Mouse Sports, Oscar. Left the team earlier in 2017. He was benched where he felt like he lost his confidence. He wasn't gelling with the team.
I think there was also something that came into it about him not being able to practice as much as he needed or not being...
Sure.
I can't remember if it was family or if it was just a motivation issue. But you're right. When they brought him back, I thought, okay, well, they still have him under contract. This is just desperate. They've lost Nico. I was in the same mindset. You know, this team's on the way out. He's really turned things around.
Absolutely. Sunny with the first shot there. Takes one down towards the connector. Oscar got a chance to find a scout shot there, but taking another 3 HP, Hachi wants him. Firing off and have to fall back there. Doesn't really have much left to work with. He knows he's got Oscar on low HP, and he probably finds him, I'd imagine. He is really committed to this frags. He sits in the windowsill there. Take down Oscar, but it still won't help them out too much, and he gets flashed by his own team. That is quite shocking. Down you go. Yep, completely white-screened by your teammates. Not ideal. Grenades coming in. They really want that kill on Oscar. They know they've tagged them up. They're doing damage to Chris J, but not to their intended target.
Sunny to hold. Top mid. AK tags Chopper. Without Alu. Sunny flies the Finnish flag this time. Chris is going to rotate back around to A with Bomb as well. Isolate, good play from Rops. JR found up close. 2 UMPs and a Deagle. That's all that remains for Vega in what has been the most lackluster game of not only this major, but also the qualifier. They looked excellent up until now. They've looked well orchestrated as a unit, but unfortunately, they've fallen apart. The Bomb just got there in time. You're right. They left it long, Bomb carrier went down. That was a misplay, pushing and overextending, but they'll make do. 16-3. That is an absolute blundering.
Yeah. Battered is the only word that comes to mind when I think about that game. Vegas Squadron just didn't show up. They played very tentative, very scared. That is not the sort of adjectives I've been using for Vegas Squadron throughout this tournament. They've looked sharp, they've looked scary, aggressive. They've looked like the bullies throughout the qualifier process, and Mouse Sports has completely ravished them this morning. That was too easy for them. Players like Chris Jade is running around the map and just killing them one by one, pushing every single choke point of the map. Palace, middle, apartments, A ramp. Mouse Sports are doing it, and they were doing it individually and winning every single frag.
Absolutely were. I mean, the amount of map control and confidence they had was unparalleled. That's a performance to be watched and worried by all other teams. We're going to take a break. These two teams 1-1, but we've got two teams going home today and two teams moving through. We'll be back in just a bit. I can do anything.
Bạn cũng biết mà. Vị sô-cô-la đậm vậy. Bên trong cũng màu sô-cô-la. Bánh gì vậy? Choco Pie có vị mới. Này thêm 70% hàm lượng cacao. Thêm 70% cacao. Đậm đà vị bánh. Orion Choco Pie Dark. Tôi yêu Choco Pie Dark.
This is the lack of utility really shining there.
Appreciate it on fire, boys.
Nice, guys.
Good job.
JR goes down and they're going to realize, oh my god.
Yeah,
How ridiculous is this? Mouse Sports is just walking all over the map wherever they want. Chris back in toward the sights. Oscar as well, excuse me. He's easily got kills.
Easy.
Battered is the only word that comes to mind when I think about that game.
Welcome back to the E-League Major. In our first match of the day, we saw the Mouse Sports take down Vegas Squadron. So, first of all, congratulations, Chris J. You're now one win away from attaining legend status for the first time ever. The confidence in the team just seems at an all-time high right now.
Yeah, the team is feeling really good. I mean, we feel like every time we get a good start into a game, we're just crushing the opponent. Yeah, I guess it helps. We feel like we play a lot of Mirage this tournament. We feel comfortable on the map, but there's like a lot of maps where we feel good. As long as we get like the good start, you know, then we don't doubt ourselves, and everybody plays free. We do this move, we do that move, everything works. So yeah, we're feeling really good.
Well, you just said it yourself. You're playing Mirage a lot at this event. In fact, this time was the 6th time that you've played Mirage, and you've clearly shown you're very great on the map. So what do you think it is about your team style or players that makes this such a good map for you?
Well, I think one thing that's really important on CT side is that Oscar is just really good on Mirage. Alp is really important on the map, and he is just one of the best Alps in the game. When he's on point, I think he's for sure the best. The rest of the guys also like to play the map. I feel like the roles fit well for our CT side. You have more passive guy in Stico and Robs on both of the sides, so that gives like Oscar, me, and Sunny more room to play around mid or do our moves wherever we want. So it really fits our team, I would say.
Well, I read in an interview that you consciously chose not to practice with any of the teams that are here. So how are you using your practice team instead?
Well, we actually did practice against the team that was here in the end. I don't remember which team, but yeah, it's just really hard to find practice against teams that are not here, that are like at least at a decent level, right? So we did play a bit against some teams that were here, but like now on the match days, we don't practice at all. We just watch matches. We try to learn from that. I mean, obviously, the teams that are playing can be your opponent the next day, right? So you try to catch up on some things. Other than that, we just talk stuff through, but we just play individually.
Well, it's definitely paying off. Congratulations again and good luck.
Thank you.
Thanks very much for that. So, you heard it from Chris J. You know, they had a bit of practice. He's all smiles. He's feeling pretty good. Check your portfolio. Shark coin is plummeting. I'd get it sold. And Jason, me and you are looking like...
There's no buyers, are there?
No one's buying it. It's all over. It's BitConnect.
Yep.
And me and you are looking pretty foolish right now because Vegas Squadron, you know, they looked great in that first week of the tournament, but it's been very, very different here.
I mean, this isn't really... This just felt like it wasn't Vegas Squadron. It's like you're watching a completely different team. They were playing so scared on their T side. They allowed Mouse Sports as CT to have so much control of the map. There's that one round where Oscar essentially rushed mid as CT with an AWP. It was at the top of mid with 1 minute and 35 seconds left on the clock, and no one's watching for anything. So there were some mistakes made. Then you go to the CT side, and yeah, they're down a lot, and I mean, just playing so passively. And you know, the story about them was how crazy the aggression is. And I think, you know, you go back to an interview Kerrigan had after they beat Vega, and he said, you know what? This is where this team is going to have trouble adjusting. Now that teams are a little bit worried about them, they start looking into it, you start figuring some things out. And will this team have enough to fall back on? And the answer is no. And you're not even seeing guys like Mir and Chopper no longer having good performances to keep them alive. Yeah, that was the worry, Anders. You know, Kerrigan did say it in that interview. He goes, teams are starting to respect Vegas Squadron now, and with that respect comes that research. And he said they were going to get found out.
And we've seen that before. It's a pretty well-established pattern, I would say now. It's much easier to be the upset team if you just come out of nowhere and people don't really know what you're all about. That's happened so many times in the past and usually doesn't last. That's true, I think, for whole teams. It's true for individual players as well. Just think about someone like, say, Magisk or Config. Like, the style that they play initially, they can't really play the same way anymore. Like, it works for a while, and then you have to change. And I think that's the true test. And in that sense, I just look forward to seeing Vega evolve even further. Like, I want to see the next stage now. But I did warn them, stay away from that AWP. Just got to make sure Mouse Sports don't get that.
Yeah. Oscar with a great game. Just some final thoughts about Mouse Sports. Really starting to grow into this tournament. Yeah, starting to look good, and I mean, he said it, they're playing confident now as well, and all the questions you have about them, some of those get answered when you're that comfortable and that confident. We've seen Oscar put together some solid performances, starting to string them together. That's always dangerous, and Chris said it, you know, when they get out to a good start and they have the money for the AWPs and they have, you know, the momentum and they're feeling good, they're just going to keep rolling. So they're starting to look like a very dangerous team to slow down. Final thoughts from you?
Smix and Chris did sort of touch on it in the interview a little bit, even though he backed out of the idea. But this idea of not practicing against your opponents coming into a major is a core part of Counter-Strike that's missing right now. Everyone is doing it, like they're just all playing each other and sort of testing out the strats. At some point, we have to move away from that. You have to be able to show up at a tournament and have strats that have essentially been untested and, you know, be confident in them. That doesn't happen very often anymore, but one day. So I like Chris even thinking about it.
I want to do one final thought on Vega.
Yeah, go on.
Because, listen, we're talking about how they need to adapt and everything, and they do, but that's not for this tournament. That's for after this. If they want to try and qualify and get through, they need to go back to the old Vega, just play the same way, and you live or die by it, and you try and make something happen. But you're not going to be able to adjust at the major, on the fly, game to game, day to day. You need to do it after the event. Get back to what got you here.
All right, so Team Liquid are going to be up next, and one guy who's here at the major has one of the toughest jobs. He's got to drop guns for his teammates, apparently. Zeus was in the Cheez It Grooves Lounge.
Hey, Zeus. We're already at day 3 of the new Legend stage, so first of all, how are you doing today?
I'm pretty tired, but pretty good, I guess. Pretty normal.
Yeah, I think we could all use a little bit of coffee, for sure. But first things first, I wanted to talk to you about yourself. Throughout the games, you've definitely held your own despite coming in as a stand-in. You've had some impressive rounds. So personally speaking, how pleased are you with your performance so far?
Pleased is rough. It's not like I'm carrying the guys in. I'd be very pleased with that.
But still.
I mean, if I can help out at least a little bit, like I said, I'm supposed to be dropping guns and doing whatever it takes. If I can help out 1 or 2 rounds, I'm happy in that. It's whatever I can do for my team.
Well, we saw it work really well for Team Liquid in the match against Big. Moving into the loss you had against G2, I saw after the loss you tweeted, we just couldn't get momentum going fast enough. So what was it that you guys were stuck with in the beginning?
A little bit of nervousness comes into it when we don't follow the game plan. What's being called by Nitro on the round, we don't do it. We get hesitant to go in for the trade kills and stuff like that. It's all in the little details, and when you can't build momentum on a map like Inferno, it gets really hard, especially considering we're considered the underdogs for it. So there's also the psychological factor in it as well.
Well, now you guys have a chance to go 2-1, and it's going to be a rematch against Na'Vi. We saw last week you played them at the qualifier. Back then, unfortunately, it was a loss, 16-5. But what are the things you guys learned from that loss that can hopefully help you today?
Again, in the Na'Vi match as well, we came in with the wrong mentality. We didn't play to our strength. We didn't play our game. And what we learned is I'm going to Zeus. I swear to you. I am going for it.
All right, I really pray that we can see that. Good luck today, and we'll see how it goes.
Thank you, Sue.
So, Anders, this is where we'd usually break down the roster, but here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to give a special shout-out to Zeus. There was a lot of people out there. We know who they are. Didn't want to put themselves in the firing line and potentially embarrass themselves. And Zeus has come here, and I think he's done an amazing job. I mean, seriously, to sort of have that lack of ego to put yourself in the frame this way and do what you can for your team, you know, I think he can be incredibly proud of his contribution, whatever happens.
Yes, there's no way to disagree with that, I think. Just what a character. I mean, and just the fact that he's had an impact at all. I think even if he had almost no impact, you would have said, well, can't really blame him for that. But he actually has made a difference, and yeah, I'm super impressed. What a great guy. I mean,
yeah, exactly. If he could have picked it up a little bit and rolled back some of those years, you know, they might be actual contenders, because there's a lot of good points to talk about here with Liquid. You know, Twists is having a good major, another one of the young guys, second youngest after Robs, I believe. You've got obviously ELEAGUE is ELEAGUE, one of the best players in NA, but Nitro has stepped up immensely.
Yeah, I mean, the problem is they just have to get started, right? They need these guys to provide more entries. And what you saw against G2 on Inferno, it was only Nitro that was able to really get things started. They need more people who are going to initiate the contact with success.
I mean, here's something that you have to worry about if you're an opponent of Liquid right now, is how much they're just having fun playing this game. Like, they're just, half the games, they're just laughing and sort of giggling to each other. And that is, I mean, that can be hard to shut down, right? That means they have a pretty big buffer of, you know, even if they lose a couple of rounds, they still seem to be doing all right. That's probably partly due to Zeus playing in the game. Like, that does take a lot of stress out.
I mean, JDM said in an interview, you know, our goal coming here was just to make the major, is to qualify throughout last week, and they accomplished that. And everything after here is gravy. Obviously, you'd love to be top 8. You'd love to have that auto berth into the next one, but, you know, it might not be the most realistic thing, but just take it game by game. I think it's hilarious to a degree that Zeus has actually won. Let's not forget, he won a major as a coach with Luminosity. He won a major as a coach with SK, both the same lineups, the Brazilian team. And this is the first time he's actually played in a major, but he already has 2 trophies, which is not that funny now that I say it out loud, but it, you know, it sounded funny.
Sorry, they can't all land.
Yeah,
look, I know, it's tough. It's tough doing comedy. Anyway, look, nothing funny about Na'Vi's up and down form if you're a Na'Vi fan. But they're starting to peak at the right time, and they're going to be thinking, you know, great, we've got Liquid, already beaten them once in this tournament.
Honestly, when they're down, then they're really far down, and it seems like nothing is working. They can't even put players like Simple and Electronic into the game, which is obviously just a miserable thing to be watching. But when they're working, it's an unbelievably scary system to be fighting against. Zeus is one of the hardest, I think, in-game leaders to play against if you're on another team. He has such a particular style, and it's very hard to counter. And Simple and Electronic, just between those 2 players, you've got so much firepower. Yeah, I think they can go very far in this tournament, Na'Vi. I think people are underestimating them a bit.
And they absolutely butchered Big yesterday, as you can see there. And one of the guys who's sort of had an up-and-down tournament has been Electronic. Now, it was a drawn-out transfer saga to bring him from Flipside. It was talked about, you know, publicly. In the end, they finally managed to agree on a fee, got their man. And you can see, when Na'Vi are playing poorly, he's playing poorly. When Na'Vi are on fire, very often he's one of the reasons why that's happening. So what have you made of him so far, Jason?
He's a younger player, and it's obvious the skill he's got. It's all about finding comfort in this level of play as a new guy, even for someone this talented. So it's about that. It's also about, you know, you have the established stars of this team, Simple and Flamey, who've been here for some time, kind of understanding what they're going to be doing. So finding where you're going to fit in terms of that, how much room you're going to be given by the team to begin with, and then also just, I mean, feeling confident. These guys, when they give interviews, you don't even see them. They don't even seem like they're comfortable in the team. From what I'm hearing and looking at, for me, Na'Vi is basically like the story of Simple, because we know he's going to get his, and this is kind of like the counter to everyone saying, you know, Simple isn't the best player in the world, and it's not that he's like #1, but he's so incredibly good, and if this team plays better and gets the accolades, he can be the #1 player in the world. And I mean, it's all about when you play against Na'Vi, you have to realize Simple's going to get his. If you can shut down the other guys, the electronics, if you can shut down the Flamies, then you're going to have a very good chance at winning that, even if Simple's going off.
Yeah, and look, I think this has been one of the things that maybe hasn't been talked about so much. You know, when Simple signed that long contract with Na'Vi Anders, you know, I've been told part of that deal, part of the agreement was you are going to go out and get electronic. I want to play with him. Simple wants to play alongside this guy, you know, because he believes he's good enough to take some of that pressure off him.
Yeah, and I don't blame him. That was my experience too, watching him way back in like early 16 or maybe even before that. I can't remember, but it's a long time ago when he was more or less completely unknown. And I remember seeing him play, and it was like clear as day to me when I saw him. You could see in his style that this was going to be a top player.
Right. He also said that about Palf, to be fair.
Yeah, and Anders has certainly had a few.
Just throwing darts at the board.
Yeah, we're laughing now, but when Mark comes back in Moses, just wait for it to happen. Just wait for that headline. We'll see.
We will. Shout out to Palf, not at the major. Overpass is the map, guys. We can take a look at the veto. And this is an interesting one. Obviously, the other one was on Inferno. Ooh. Liquid took that out. Didn't fancy a full rematch. Mirage dangled, and Na'Vi get to pick Overpass, which I'm very intrigued about. Team Liquid starting on that CT side. So, Jason, I'll start with you. Some reactions to this?
Obviously good they get a start on the CT side. I'm looking for guys like, this is where even on the CT side, you almost have to play a little bit like a terrorist and be aggressive. So this is where you want guys like Nitro and Twist and ELEAGUE. ELEAGUE at Bathrooms is going to be critically important. JDM with the AWP is going to be huge. Because the one thing that this map, you know, you need on the CT side is an AWPer who can like aggressively peek some of those angles and be able to fight as he falls back. JDM, since he's joined Liquid, to find his form in this team has seemed to have gone away from that. In CLG, he very much was an aggressive AWPer, peeking the angles like very, very aggressively, even sometimes when it was ill-advised. Now he feels like he's way, way more tempered, which I think kind of scares me on Overpass, but this team still has plenty of firepower to be able to take on this map.
Your thoughts on this?
Well, Liquid get to play the CT side. The one thing they have to stop from happening is for Na'Vi to just get easy control of the restrooms and be allowed to execute. I think if they're allowed to get those executes in, I'm not sure Liquid can stop it. So they have to find a system to shut that down, and I think that's going to be a huge challenge. I think Na'Vi've got this.
So you're going to go for Na'Vi?
Yes.
Jason, you've gone away from NA predictions of late.
I want to. You know, it's there. The feeling is there. I really would like to. It's just I don't see it happening, especially considering the way that Na'Vi played yesterday. Saw everyone kind of stepping up, Flamey, Electronic, Simple, all of them. So there's just so much firepower on this team, and with the coach, I don't think Liquid can handle it.
Well, we'll see if you're right, and good news for you all at home. The match is on Game Command. If you don't know what Game Command is, it's super easy. You just load it up, have a look. You're the director. You can choose who you want to watch, how many players you want to watch, all different angles. It's brilliant. Go to live.eleague.com to check that out. We are now going to take a quick break, and when we come back, Henry G and Sadakist are going to bring you Team Liquid versus Na'Vi. We'll see you shortly.
I got rage every day on the inside. The only thing I do is sit around and kill time. I'm trying to blow out the pilot light. I'm trying to blow out. could do anything.
Welcome back to the Boost Mobile Casting Desk. Another 1-1 game, so neither of these teams will be moving on or going home, but they'll certainly be putting a best foot forward for tomorrow.
Yes.
Liquid with Zeus took down big, gotten a lot further than maybe perhaps a lot of people expected in the main event.
Absolutely, but I do feel like Na'Vi are going to be the more powerful team going into this one. It seems like everything's coming together finally. It was a bit touch and go in the qualifying process, but overall it seems like simple, firing on all cylinders. Electronic, as the guys mentioned on the desk, he is not playing amazingly, but the games that they do win, he's looking much better. So he has some games that gets like 4 frags and nothing will happen, and sometimes he gets 25. So it's, depending on which Electronic shows up, I feel like Na'Vi are going to run away with this.
Interestingly, both of these teams beat big, so 16-5 and 16-1.
They're playing, not really much to write home about.
No, not at all. And I was going to say Electronic looked brilliant yesterday in the pit on Inferno, but it was made very easy for him. I favored Na'Vi. Dan went for the DDK went for the DDT, I guess you could say, in the 1 versus 8. He's the only one to pick Liquid.
Yeah, that's going to be a tough
I don't know if he has any solid proof for that.
Well, we'll have to find out, Matthew.
It could just go up like a gas.
Time will tell. As you get into round number 1, it's going to be Forces of Armor for Na'Vi. They've got all their players towards the 8 of the map. Focusing on middle, good flashbang coming through. Nitro have a chance to find a few headshots there, but can't connect anything just yet. He probably does start to hit shots now, which he does. Takes down 1. Zeus will back him up, and this is looking very good for Team Liquid. A clean sweep, all headshots with those USPs. Very well done. Fast rotations from the big bomb site. Nitro to hold them at bay and deny the plants. Great work and a good start in this best of 1 for Team Liquid. The North American side, certainly the underdogs with Zeus playing. Although don't let that fool you, he is holding his own, as they mentioned on the desk as well. He's not just rolling over and just dropping guns. He is finding kills and actually had a massive clutch against GG yesterday.
These two teams played each other last week in the qualifying stage, the round of 24 stage as well. And remember, I said if Zeused,
well, that's what in the interview
I would shave my head.
Liquid Zeus did say his objective today is to Zeus.
Did he really?
Yeah, he did say.
Did I miss that? I was just in the bathroom.
Yeah, he did mention that. He said
did he say that he strictly did it for me?
No.
Oh, well, I don't like him then.
But that's one of his main objectives today. So we'll see whether he can pull that off. We'll get into round number 2. Like we said, no bomb was planted there, so this will be a chance for Na'Vi to force buy into this round. They'll have Deagles and CZ's armor as well. Na'Vi Zeus, this is going to be a little bit confusing. We'll try and be specific when calling out their name. We'll have Peter 15 no armor. He opts for grenades instead. But flashbangs available, and we'll see whether the firepower of Team Liquid, 2 FAMASs, and MP9s will come on top. Ooh, good damage to Edward at the very start, down to 29 HP. I think that was a scout that hit him. That'll be JDM hovering around middle, indeed it was.
Well, if he's making it his objective, I might be in for some trouble. Just starting to grow my hair again, Henry.
Well, we'll see if it comes in first. I think it's a tall order to buy the Zeus first place and find him specifically. It's
both Zeuses are capable of doing it, though.
It's true.
So Edward tagged early, as you said. Great start, Liquid in the pistol round. Gives them something to build upon, and EW Zeus, Liquid Zeus, will be jumping from sandbags to try and spot toward the short tunnel to make sure no one's working in toward the water. Lee's just going to slowly push out toward front bathrooms again, too, with smoke down in that position. See if anyone is lurking in that direction, and having gone through the smoke, not spotting anyone, hearing some commotion over toward B, or at least the information that there is commotion over toward B. He'll slip around behind them. Connector, door closed, means he's got to make noise to open it. He's going to just go with it. Finds the first one easily. Elige takes down Na'Vi Zeus, but Flamey's followed up. It's Twist now that has to side of the site to make do. Nitro's bailed him out by getting in position on Cat to get 2. And Liquid find their second round.
They do indeed. Well held towards the B bomb site. No bomb planted once again. It's going to be a full eco now from Na'Vi. They try and split towards the B bomb site. Short and Monster. Got a couple of frags taking down Lee towards that connector, but overall quite comfortable there for Liquid. And no chance of that bomb being planted at all. Only 2 frags picked up for Na'Vi so far, and they're both courtesy of Flaming. As you can see here with the CZ through the smoke, takes down the coach. We should just make sure we drive that point home. He is standing in for Team Liquid. Steele, the young Brazilian player, former Immortals tenure, cannot attend the event due to valve ruling. As we get into this next round, it should be quite a simple process for JDM to find some kills here. He'll take some damage though and have to fall back. He probably gets rocked here as he spots a couple more. He is very very careful not to go down. He does manage to fire off a couple more shots, but he will survive.
Good find from Zeus to take down Edward. Nitro takes on Electronic, turns around, Zeus behind, so too is Flamey, however, and he's not going to that. So eventually he will expire, and ELEAGUE makes up for it. Good start for Liquid. This is encouraging. I know there's no guns yet for Na'Vi, but they still look in good form and hitting shots.
Fighting 3-0 against a team with Simple and his Deagle is no easy task, so that's good news, absolutely. But this is where the game begins. No Simple AWP, but don't let that fool you. That's not really a factor here. Simple can be one of the world's best players, AK or AWP. Of the utility, it's okay. Simple investing a little bit too much in the previous rounds. Yes, AK armor, but maybe that's a good thing. Let's keep that gun in his hand and then run around and cause chaos. For AWP JDM, he'll be positioned towards B-bombs. I believe he's being boosted towards short right now. Looking at the short pipe, seeing if he can open things up, and no one will be challenging it just yet. Most players will flash this position where he's standing right now. He's actually on the head of his teammate, which I believe is Zeus. Indeed it is. So he'll just be focusing there. It can be a little bit troublesome. You have no one on the connector, like they do right now. The door can just fly open and you can be taken down. That's why he's kind of nervously looking towards that area.
Barrels. Tries to swing out. JDM gets the shot instead. Simple easily wins the duel with the AK. That'll give them space. JDM's flashed off as well. Drops inside of the pit. Thankfully, keeps himself alive. Tagged to 12, but alive. AWP means he can go aggressive as well. He's on the ramp. Any damage would suffice to take him down, but he wants an angle. He's going to hold the left side of the pillar. That allows both ELEAGUE and Nitro to focus on the right, down toward Monster. Good position from JDM. What a retake from Liquid. Patience from JDM especially.
Really enjoyed that, actually. JDM, you're absolutely right there. Didn't actually give anything away. Goes under low HP, plays a very safe defensive angle where his teammates rotate in. They allow the bomb to go down, that's fine. And they come in together. They buy enough time. Na'Vi do not punish the fact that JDM stuck in towards a water position with just 10 HP. And he will find the killing blow there. Bomb planted, and maximum loss spend is next round. He's still combined for this one. Here's ELEAGUE and that great retake. Still way too much space for him. That's the lack of utility for Team Na'Vi there. And a few more flashbangs, a smoke extra perhaps, then maybe they could have really held that one off. But too many open areas of the bomb side there for Liquid to retake and work together and coordinate their attack. So Na'Vi taking a pause right now. Certainly hasn't been their best tournament. This team has been disappointing overall. Whole of 2017 was a complete nightmare for them. Then removing Guardian, or a transfer, if you will, towards FaZe. Very positive for Guardian, not so much for Na'Vi. They then brought in Electronic, bringing back Zeus as well. We thought that was to be the perfect package. The tactics of Zeus, the current major champion from Krakow, and the firepower of Electronic, but it just doesn't seem to be coming together in the way everyone expected.
The underpass with Simple, trying to work his way in. ELEAGUE takes down Zeus. So Simple on an AK, brought around with armor.
This is what we call that tactical purchase. Simple does this a lot. He'll get the AK-47. His teammates will just upgraded pistols and partial buy. He normally can cause absolute chaos in this sort of buy, but looks like Zeus and Co have shut it down. Nice work with the MP9. JDM holds strong towards the connector. And now Simple for the HP, still has the AK-47, as you can see. He lets that be heard loud and clear.
Good angle to have as well. JDM's gun's down at the top of the stairwell. He has the confidence to go for it, however. More so because Zeus is also in the underpass, and if Electronic thinks he's going to take the bomb that direction, Zeus will have other plans for him with the MP9. The other direction. The problem is Zeus at that range. MP9, Simple's AK. You can see what it's worth now because they've got the man advantage. Electronic and Edward can both take guns available to them. Surprisingly, Edward hasn't. He's still pushing bathroom. Okay, take that back. Excuse me. He does have the AK now. So I didn't see him pick that up.
Twist.
Simple's gotten twist. This is all over at this point in time. Just Nitro. Chansey holds it. No nades. Has a kit. They are working toward A, and Edward's far enough ahead that if he wins this duel cleanly, he could certainly make do, especially where everyone's lower on HP than he is. So the duels just have to be concise. You can hear Edward in the site, but he doesn't know where he's gone. And Edward's playing just enough of an angle that Nitro won't be able to take him down before they get there. Can't quite get the T-ball. Oh, I take it back. Bomb did go down, but Nitro got the shot nonetheless on electronic. Unfortunately, the bomb going down is significant because Simple and Edward can both fall off to angles that are unfavorable for Nitro.
Yeah, he really had to deny that bomb. Let himself down slightly, but he might be able to redeem himself here. Lovely shot towards long. Simple low HP. He baits it out and he takes him down. Nitro continues that strong form he's shown throughout the tournament, and it looked like such a dicey round there for Liquid. A 5-on-3 advantage thrown away, but he manages to keep the morale high in the North American camp.
Timeout called immediately.
Absolutely. What a round. Well played, Nitro.
That was so well played for Nitro to bait out the last shot. Dodging the flash as well. The hit on Edward was brilliant. And Simple, despite having the AK to start it off, does such a tremendous job. You're right, he did leg him at the end, but can't hold off Nitro. 10 kills Nitro. He leads the way again. He's looked remarkable. Probably the best overall form in terms of impact I think he's ever had.
Yeah, it used to be him and ELEAGUE, the tag team duo, running around the map, causing chaos, but that dropped off significantly in 2017. His form